Hello, you guys. Welcome back to another story time. If I'm being honest, I don't even know what I'm gonna call this one, but it's a story. It's a story, and I'm gonna share it because it's a good one. Hopefully, you guys get a little giggle out of my trauma. That's what YouTube's all about, right? Okay. Also, is the bangs giving? Oh my god! Like one thing I really want, y'all. I really want to be a locked baddie one day, but like sometimes I just think about how I can never whip this out. If I lock up my hair for real, lock baddie or blowout transitional baddie. I don't know, but that's not what this story time's about. So let's get into the story. Let's go. So obviously we are going to set the scene at work, right? So I worked at this job. I had been working there for, I'd say, about a month. It was a job where people were always kind of like in and out. It was just that type of job. So it was normal to see new faces every 2 weeks, every whatever, yada, yada, yada. So I had been working there for about a month. I really liked this job. And then I think like a month in, I noticed like this guy one day when I came in. And I believe I had missed the day before because I went to a concert. Um, and yeah, so it's like I came the day, I missed the day, then I came back and there's this new guy here. So I'm just like, either today's his first day or he started the day I was gone. Whatever, doesn't really matter, right? Right. So one thing I noticed about this guy was he was very quiet, which doesn't bother me. I don't care. I've been an extrovert like my whole life, but I feel like now I'm a little more closed off. I'm more like, I can talk, but like you have to talk first. So like, I don't care. I've always been able to get along with introverts, extroverts, doesn't bother me. Because before the shift would start, me and my coworkers would have like a little downtime at like this table where we would just be yapping it up, talking about whatever. Like everybody at this job was cool until the story time happened. But I used to notice like at the tables, he used to just be kind of quiet to himself, which is kind of normal for someone new, but also like, I don't really care. He don't want to talk. He don't got to talk. But I just noticed that, right? I just noticed. So if you know me, I do not associate with my community. No, like, I be on time. I be on time. I be early. I be leaving. I don't be on BPT, like, So kind of a lot. I would be like the first or second person there on the shift. Like everybody would always be like, oh, Alicia's always here. So one day, I think either he was first or I was first. And basically in that waiting area, it was only me and him. And he sparked up a conversation, just normal stuff. How long have you been working here? Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, yeah, blah, blah. And he was cool. That was the first time I talked to him, like a couple weeks since he started. It was chill. First time we spoke in, whatever, right? Whatever. I have to mention something I have to come back to. So this job had a very like lengthy hiring process. It was just, I don't know. I never had to like go through this much of a process to work for this job, but it was probably because of the type of job. But for me personally, it took me about a month in between training and doing the job and like getting on site. For him, why is he telling me during this first conversation about how it's so hard? I'm like, yeah, relating, like, yeah, it took me a month. I did everything and I was just kind of waiting. He's like, yeah, same. But for me, I waited like 2-3 months. I said, 2-3 months. If you were waiting for 2 or 3 months, you didn't want to just go look for another job, like, but whatever. I was like 2 or 3 months. I'm like, nah, bro, like it wasn't that much for me. He's just like, oh, okay, blah, blah. Remember that, y'all. Remember that. So whatever. I really just had one interaction with him. He was cool people. It wasn't really constant. Still, when it would be a group, I feel like he would still just kind of be more shy, not as involved in the group conversation, whatever. So I would interact with him every once in a while. So on the days where he wasn't super like quiet or closed off, I started to notice he would be very extroverted. Like how you go from introvert to extroverted, answering all the questions, asking people a bunch of questions. It was kind of just like a weird switch. But again, I'm not trying to judge because I don't know him. Like maybe he's just getting comfortable. But it wasn't like he went from introverted to extroverted. It would be like he'd be silent one day, talking a lot in 3 days. Like, it was kind of, I peeped that, and I would just kind of be like, okay, okay. So this one day, he was feeling very extroverted. He was contributing to the group conversations, just like a lot. Like, I feel like it was like, even when the conversation stopped or the other people didn't really have anything to say, he would still just keep pushing out. Like, he acted super pumped for this shift, and we were all just kind of like, okay, whatever. So the shift starts. I remember I come back by the waiting area, and I noticed a phone. Most of us had iPhones, and it was like a Samsung. Oh, we got to give him a name. We're gonna call him Paul. We're gonna call him Paul. So I see the phone in the waiting area. I'm like, I don't want to just like leave someone's phone out in the open. So I pick it up. I'm like, I don't want to look at it. Like, I feel like I'm invading space. But I was like, I feel like this is Paul's phone. So at this job, we had walkie. So I was like, hi, did anyone leave a phone in the like break area? Everyone's like, no, no, no. But like, he didn't respond. So I'm like, you know what? I know I'm running to like the office for something real quick, but I know everybody else is like out. So I'm like, I'm gonna just like bring it because I know it's someone's, like, I know it's someone's phone. So so I bring the phone, and when I get back around where everybody else is at, I walk straight to him because everybody else walking back and was like, no, I got my phone, blah blah. So I'm just like, hi Paul, like, is this your phone? I saw it in like the break area, I just didn't want to leave it. He was like, and he just was he was just super hype, like, oh my god, thank you, Alicia. Yeah, this is my phone. I don't know, like, you know when people kind of do too much to just be like, oh, thanks, bro. Like, he was just like talking a lot, and I was kind of just like, okay. Like, it was a little bit strange. Like, I just noticed his mannerisms were a little bit strange, but it wasn't like anything too much to like write him off and be like, what's wrong with him, you know? I try not to judge. Until later that day. Later that day, I just noticed my coworker and another coworker talking, and I feel like it just seems like a situation was going on. And my boss, we were all pretty young at this job. Like, I'm 21. I mean, I wasn't at the job at 21, but that gets the point. When you're younger than 21, and we're all like young and blah blah blah. So my boss was like around our age, so she's kind of messy. Like, she would just be telling all the tea. Like, it wasn't very manager like, but whatever. She was cool. So I just remember one time I caught her alone, and I was just like, what's going on? And she was like, oh, I went ahead and sent Paul home. Like, it was like she was talking, or she was like, she knew she wanted to tell me more, but like, she really wasn't. And I was just like, oh, okay. Like, I was kind of like navigating the situation, right? And she goes, his behavior is just really strange today. And he smelled, like, when I was close to him asking him about it, he smelled completely like alcohol. Like, it was like loud, girl. It was loud. I'm like, oh. And you know, I'm sure people go to work drunk, go to work messed up, whatever type of job they have. I'm sure this isn't like a shock to any of you guys. But for me, it's the principle. At this job, we were working with children. So I'm like, what? Like, girl, what? She's like, yeah, girl. Like, I went ahead and sent him home. I just felt like he was being weird. And then I got close, and so I sent him home. I'm like, oh. So now it's kind of all clicking, like, either super quiet, or like I said, super extroverted, like overly extroverted. Y'all know how when people are drunk, they talk a lot. So I'm like, oh, so the days he was extroverted, he was, okay. So I'm just like, all right, noted. She's like, yeah, blah, blah, blah. So obviously I peeped that. I'm a girl with morals. It's like, I'm not going to be rude to him or anything, but it's just like, to me, I'm like, that's weird that you are getting drunk. And now I know it's multiple days that you come like this in the setting that we work in. Like, nah, bruh, nah. So fast forward, I don't know, a month. Me and my coworkers are doing the daily thing, just chopping it up at at our like break area, chopping it up at our break area. And this one guy talks about how he just moved into this new place. It's so cool, guys. Like, I have a bonfire. Like, I want to have you guys over. Like, you guys are all really cool. Like, everybody was really cool at that job. So we're just talking about it like, oh, like he had been talking about it for weeks, but y'all know how men don't plan. Men don't know how to plan things. So it's like he had been talking about it for a while. But this day he was finally just like, this is our payday. Like, it's about to be the weekend. Like, you guys want to just do it tonight? Like, blah, blah, blah. And so everyone's just talking like, we're trying to figure it out. And so obviously I'm in the conversation. He's asking around. And mind you, like I said, this isn't Paul. This is just like a guy who's cool. And he's like asking everyone, what are they doing? Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm not doing anything. I don't really do much on weekends, blah, blah, blah. So I'm saying this in the group setting that includes Paul, right? It includes Paul. So we have our shifts. It doesn't end up being a plan because everyone's still like, yeah. So we go on with our shifts. I get off of work, I drive home, and this is where it gets, yeah. Mind you, we have a work group chat, but it's like I have like my boss or like some of the girls I was really cool with or worked closer to. I had their contacts, but I did not have everyone's contacts. So first of all, I don't know how this happened, but why did I get home? My phone was still in D&D from being at work, and I got like a couple missed calls and texts. I'm like, what is this? It's a random number. I click off do not disturb. Why does the text say, hi Alicia, it's Paul. I was just asking if you wanted to hang out this weekend. This is why we need to stop being nice to men. When I tell y'all I'm so confused and annoyed, because like, it's like people at work were cool, but I'm like, the people that were like cool that I felt like I might hang out one-on-one with was more so like the girls. Like the guy who was gonna have the thing at his house, he was cool too, but he didn't give me the vibe that like he would want to see me one-on-one. Like I would go to a work group thing, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, I've interacted with Paul probably under 5 times, like a one-on-one conversation. So I'm just trying to figure out, first of all, where'd he get my number?
I'm a psycho.
But also, why does he feel comfortable enough to text and call me multiple times and ask to hang out? I'm like, all right. So I'm thinking, right? Because if you guys didn't know, I'm a Scorpio. I'm very blunt. I don't care. I'm not mean, but it's like if I don't want to do something, like literally, boys will sure be like, oh, we should hang out. I'll be like, no, I don't know you like that. Like I'm completely fine with being honest, like not leading people on, stuff like that. I just feel like it's real, you know? But I had to think. I'm like, this is a dude who is an alcoholic. And we know alcoholics aren't like very stable people. He's very tall, blah, blah. And I'm like, this is someone I literally have to see every day. So I'm just like, ugh. Like, and if you don't get it, you have to understand it from a woman's perspective. Like, I'm not going to be so quick to just reject or like see, like, you know, someone I have to actually see. Like, that can be dangerous for a woman. So I'm thinking, I asked my sister about the situation, I asked my dad. They're both just like, lie. And then one thing, I'm not either is a liar. I can't. Even if I don't care about you, like, I'm just like, y'all, but I can't lie, because he literally heard me at the table be like, oh yeah, I don't do anything on weekends, like, blah, blah, blah. So what am I do? What am I do? I came to the conclusion to just ignore it and not say anything. So that's what I did. I'm just like, I hope that he can just be a normal human being and like not mention it when I see him on Monday. Like, I'm not going to be rude to him, nothing. There's no need to be rude. It was just weird. I'm like, I'm just going to greet him, greet everyone like I do, and I'm not going to acknowledge it. And that's what's going to happen. So Monday comes around. There was this super sweet girl that I worked with who had been gone for like a week. And when I was walking in the office, she's the first person I see. I'm like, oh my God, hi, like, how, where have you been, blah, blah, blah. And I thought it was just her. As soon as I hit, like walked through the door, like around, y'all know like the scary movie where it's just like in the corner you can't see unless you go in. That's where Paul was standing. That's where like I literally walk in. I'm like so I'm like so invested in her. And I like already asked her, oh hi, how are you? Where have you been? Blah blah. So I just make it brief. I'm just like, hi. Oh hi Paul. And I just keep talking to her. I keep talking to her. Blah 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 blah. So he acts pretty normal. Like he doesn't acknowledge it. Thank God. And I just go on about my day, have my shift. Fast forward to a couple days into work, and like the next following days, he's not there. He's not there. So I have some downtime one time, and we had like a couple people missing. Like I said, this job, people were always in and out, missing work, being late, stuff like that. So I'm chopping it up with one guy at my work, and I'm just like, yeah, like, where is everybody this week? Like, I don't know, what. And he mentions like, oh, like, yeah, Paul's been gone a couple days, huh? I'm like, yeah. He's like, yeah, I don't think Paul is gonna like come back. Like he said it so casually, but like with some, you know, I'm like, why do you say that? He's like, you know how I said my boss was messy. Like, why would she tell people this? But she's like, I guess he texted our boss like a picture of his wristband and stuff and said he was in a mental hospital. I'm like, okay. Mind you, no one else really, yeah, no one else knew about this interaction. I kept it to myself because I was just embarrassed and weirded out. But I'm like spooked that that's why he's gone. And I know like mental health is no joke. I'm just like in my head, like, okay, I hope whatever is going on, he feels better and he gets better. But I was just spooked at the timing. Like, why did that happen after I just rejected him? I don't know. I don't know if it correlates, but it spooks me. I remember I told my dad and my sister that, and they were just like, huh? Like, cause you know, they were who I was asking, like, what should I do? And they said a lie. And we were all just like, okay, safe recoveries, and I moved on with my life. The story doesn't end there. A week passes. A week passes. Why does almost the same thing as when I saw him, like the next time I saw him after I rejected him, happen, y'all? I'm not expecting to see him for a while because he's in recovery or whatever. I walk in the office again. I'm like acknowledging someone I see in the doorway. Again, I just like a hey Alicia, like out the corner. I'm trying to hide. I'm trying to hide how surprised I am, but I'm surprised to see him like so soon. It's whatever, you know. Again, I'm just like, hi Paul. Keep talking to my people. I don't know. His vibe is just very weird that day. You know how I said some days it was just a quiet normal, and then other days it was just like the energy was weird. It was weird. So we could either like chop it up in the office or chop it up like in this other waiting area. So I tell the person I'm interacting with, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go outside, whatever. So I go, she follows me, we're talking. Why does Paul follow us? Mind you, by this time, more and more people are here. So I have a seat at the table. Guys, it's one of those tables that has like multiple benches that are open where it's like, it was enough. Like you could pick the bench across from me, the bench to the side of me. Why did he sit on the bench I was sitting? He sat close enough to where our shoulders were touching. Y'all, it was so scary. I'm just like, I'm very uncomfortable. Like normally if you would sit next to someone and like you were touching bodies, unless it was like your friend, you would, oh, like move a little bit. No, he literally stayed right there. Like, y'all, I was so, the conversation goes on. I'm just like, I don't really know how to like get up and leave right now. I'm so weirded out. So I just contribute to the conversation with everybody else. We're talking about a movie that just came out, half the people seen it, half the people want to see it, blah, blah, blah. I'm talking about how I saw it, blah, blah, blah. I'm talking across the table, like, to my homegirl. And mind you, y'all, it's another day. Remember how I said he was either completely silent or he was super extroverted? And it's one of these days where he's just doing too much. And I can just kind of see everyone at the table is kind of just like at each other, because they're just like, why is he acting so weird? Like, he's acting drunk, basically. Again, so I'm explaining how I seen that movie this weekend. It was so good, blah, blah, blah. Why, like, y'all, in like the scariest serial killer voice, like, he's not even in this conversation. I'm talking to like 2 other people. He just like turns his head and says, like, dead serious, like, who did you see the movie with, Alicia? I'm like, y'all, he said he's my nigga, like, what? But also in a creepy way. I'm like, literally at this point, I'm like fed up with like him making me uncomfortable and stuff. I was just like, my friend, and he's just like, oh, okay, and go silent. Like, everyone saw that interaction and was just like, what is he doing? Like, it was just so after that, I was like, you're really weirding and creeping me out. So like, I literally just got up and went in like the inside waiting area, and I waited there. It was so weird, y'all. Like, I don't know if I'm explaining it good enough, but like, it was just so weird. Like, for someone to sit when there's a bunch of open seats, sit all right up on you, making contact with you, and then questioning you about what you're doing on the weekend when he don't even know me. He's not even my friend. Like, it was just weird. And it's like, everybody at the table could tell the energy. Like, I could even see other dudes just like making faces, because we're all trying to figure out why he's being weird. And later that day, what happens? Why my coworker be like, I don't know like how close you were to Paul, but like, when he was talking to me, y'all, you know how he was like being weird today? Like, a couple of my coworkers literally were just like, what was that at the table? I'm like, I don't know. But a specific coworker was like, girl, I don't know if you saw how Paul was being weird today, but like, I was talking to him and like, he was kind of close. Why did he smell all like alcohol? Like, it was loud. I'm like, oh, he did. This is what I'm talking about, y'all. It's not just me that beats. But yeah, after that day, I was fed up. Like, him touching me, being in my personal space, and then being weird like that. I was like, okay, I'm a nice girl, but I want to make it clear, I don't mess with you like that. I'm gonna set boundaries with you. Like, boy, no. No, try me.
Fuck going high, I'm going low.
So literally, I remember when I would be early and he would be early, like, I would just like not say anything. I'm like, I'm not acknowledging you anymore. You're weird. Like, I literally remember one time I was in like the outside waiting area. He came in the waiting outside area, and I literally just got up and walked to the other area. I'm like, boy, I'm not gonna play with you. Like, try me again, because you're weird. You're weird. He was just so strange, y'all. And that's how I handled it from there on out. He didn't try to talk to me anymore. He didn't try to text or call me anymore. And yeah, yeah, I'm not at that job anymore, but yeah, I also blocked his number for safety, because I'm like, I'm not trying to have him try to contact me again. Like, it's just weird. Like I said, if you're a girl and you're in this situation, because I know sometimes boys like understand women have struggles with safety and stuff, but they don't really get it. Like, as a girl, that situation was just very, I'm like, this is like an unstable alcoholic guy who I just rejected. And like, some men do crazy stuff with rejection, especially how I said how he was acting like that day. I was like, no. So yeah, that's what I did until this job ended. Yeah. Yeah. Y'all, let me know what you would have done in this situation. Would you have done the same thing as me? Would you have been different? Would you have been mean faster? I don't know. Maybe I should have. Let me know if you've ever had to reject someone in a workspace or have a weird coworker, like any work drama. drop it in the comments because work drama low-key be the hottest. I really haven't had much, just like weird stories like that. But yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching another story time. Please like, comment, and subscribe to this channel because I know y'all enjoyed the tea, the trauma. I know y'all enjoyed it. Please follow me on TikTok and Instagram at Alicia Milan because I've probably already told part of the story on my TikTok because I be on there every day talking, yapping, and I know y'all want to hear me more, so go over there. Thank you guys so much for watching another story time. Much more content to come, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye!